Hari Om. We're back for the next avatara of the story series on Dashavatara. And so far we have seen Matsyavatara, Kurmavatara, Varahavatara, Narasimhavatara and Vamanavatara. Now we're going to see another interesting manifestation of Lord Vishnu. Alright, and what is this avatara? It's not a very commonly spoken about avatara, but yet a very, very powerful avatara indeed. And why did Bhagwan have to take up this type of avatara? Again, we will see the whole background and the story about this avatara, right? And we will start with our usual format of chanting the Dashavatara Stotram up to here, up to this avatara, and then we will do the story and again take up the chanting in the end also. Alright? Chalo. Namasmaranadanyopayam nahi pashyamo bhavatarane Rama Hare Krishna Hare Tava Nama Vadami Sada Nrhare वेदोद्धार विचार मते सोमकदानव संहरणे मीनाकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां मन्थानाचलधारण हेतु देवासुर परिपालन भोः कूर्माकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां भूचोरकहर पुण्यदमूर्ते क्रोढोद्धृत भूतेश हरे क्रोढाकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां हेमकशिपुतनुधारण हेतु प्रह्लादासुरपालन भोः नरसिंहाच्युत रूप नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां बलिमदभञ्जन विततमते पादाद्वय कृत लोककृते पटुवटुवेश मनोज्ञ नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम् क्षितिपति वंश संभव मूर्ते क्षितिपति वंश संभव मूर्ते क्षितिपति रक्षाक्षत मूर्ते क्षितिपति रक्षाक्षत मूर्ते भृगुपति राम वरेण्य नमो भृगुपति राम वरेण्य नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां. So this is a story of why and how Lord Vishnu manifested as Bhargava Rama, better known as Parashurama. How many of you have heard of this avatara of Bhagwan Parashurama? So, why was he also called Bhargava Rama? Actually, Rama was his name, right? So, Rama was his name and he was born in the family of the Bhrigus. The Bhrigu Rishi, that family lineage, he was born. And so, he is called Bhargava Rama. The Rama who was born in the family of the Bhrigus. Okay. Why is he called Parashurama? That we will see as we go along in the story. There was once a sage whose name was Jamadagni. What was his name? Jamadagni. Rishi Jamadagni. And his wife was Renuka Devi. What was her name? Renuka Devi. Alright. Renuka Devi was like a mother to everybody. So in general, she was called Amba. Amba means mother in Sanskrit. And Jamadagni was known for his very short temper. Very easily he would get angry. And both these people, both Jamadagni as well as Renuka Devi, were spiritually highly evolved people, and they had lot of siddhis. They had control over the elements. When I say elements, I mean the Panchabhutas. What are the Panchabhutas? Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, Akasha. These are the Panchabhutas, and they had control over these elements. And specifically, Rishi Jamadagni had control over the element fire, while Renuka Devi had control over the element water. And they were highly spiritually evolved people. And Renuka Devi, in fact, was the Kshatriya princess. She was from the Kshatriya clan, while Jamadagni was a Brahmana. Now, Jamadagni's son, Jamadagni and Renuka Devi, their son was Rama. And of course, since he was born in the family of the Bhrigus, he is called Bhargava Rama. Now, I will use the word Bhargava Rama or Parashurama, because otherwise we have one more Rama, right? After this is Ramavatara. So let's not get confused. This is Parashurama or Bhargava Rama. For now, we will refer to him as Bhargava Rama. Now, Bhargava Rama was very devoted to his father right from the time he was a little boy. He never disobeyed his father. Whatever father told, it is Vedavakya. It will be done by Rama. So this is how the boy was by nature. And Bhargava Rama was a very, very intelligent child. Whatever was taught to him, very quickly he would grasp and learn. So as a very young boy, before he was a teenager itself, he had learned a lot of skills. And he had also learned the war skills as well as what the Brahmanas need to know. So he was actually called a Brahma Kshatriya. Brahma referring to the Brahmana part and Kshatriya referring to the Kshatriya part. Now, being very skillful, he was also devoted to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, in fact, taught him the war skills directly. He was directly taught by Bhagwan Shankara or Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva also blessed him with an axe as a weapon. And axe in Sanskrit is Parashu. And this is why Bhargava Rama also came to be known as Parashurama. Alright. Now this is the background of Parashurama. Parashurama also, he could not tolerate even the slightest adharma, even the slightest unfairness, unjust anywhere. He could not accept injustice even in the slightest amounts. And because he was powerful, skillful, and he would also communicate with the gods, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, with all these people he would communicate. A lot of the rishis of those times had these powers. So, his parents, of course, also had, like I told you before, Jamadagni was adept at invoking the fire god, while Renuka Devi had complete control over Varuna or the water god. So like this, they had their own skills and specialities. Now, once Bhargava Rama had received that Parashu from Lord Shiva, he became invincible. Nobody could touch him. He could not be hurt or defeated by anybody. And he always used his strength and powers to uphold dharma. He never did a single thing that was against adharma, and he did not tolerate somebody else doing adharma either. And if somebody else was found doing anything adharmic, in his temper and anger, he would really punish that person very severely. As Parashurama grew up, he had a lot of disciples of his own also, and even there, he would not tolerate even a little bit of indiscipline or even a little bit of anything that was unjust, that was not right, and punishments were very severe. Now this was Parashurama. Now, at the time when Parashurama manifested, as Bhagwan Vishnu manifested as Parashurama, the Kshatriyas, the warrior clan, they had become arrogant. There was a lot of, they were troubling and hurting the other people, especially the other caste people. Brahmanas were anyway looked upon as the high priest people, the people who were teachers, education, all that. So they got their respect. And the Kshatriyas, of course, were Kshatriyas. They had their strength and power, and they would look down upon others in the society. And this was adharma, because we are all equal, isn't it? We are all children of God. And Parashurama always felt that it is not right to treat people differently. All are human beings and should be treated with the basic humanity everybody should have towards every other human being. So this was very strong in Parashurama. Now it so happened once, his mother Renuka Devi, she had gone to fetch water. Now it is said that since she had so much powers over Varuna Deva, or the water god, she would actually carry water in a wet clay pot. Normally, wet clay pot, if you get water, all the water will seep out through the mud. Water, if the pot has to hold water, the pot, when it's made with clay, after that has to be put in an oven, and it has to be heated to high temperature and made, hardened, and then only it becomes a useful pot for carrying anything, especially liquids. But it is said that Amba or Renuka Devi could carry water from the river even in wet clay pots. Now this was only because of her spiritual power. Her mind was completely in the high spiritual state, and that is when this worked. Now once what happened, she carried this wet clay pot to the river, collected water in the river, and she was bringing it with her. As she was walking, she was slightly distracted. She started feeling, thinking thoughts about how she is a woman, about her looks and her womanhood and all that. And this was a distraction from her spiritual state. And immediately that clay pot broke. And all the water was on her and she was fully wet. And she was almost nearing the ashram. When Sage Jamadagni saw her in this manner, he realized what had happened. And in his anger, he just called out to Parashurama and said, "Son, cut off her head." Parashurama did not think even for a moment. His father's orders was Vedavakya. And he brought his Parashu, his axe, and cut off his mother's head. And the father was so pleased with what the son had done. He said, "O son, for this obedience of yours, ask me for any boon and I will give it to you." And Parashurama asked that his mother's life be granted again. And because Jamadagni was a highly spiritually evolved person, he was able to bring her back to life. And they were back to living together again. Now life was continuing. And once it happened that Sage Jamadagni had stepped out of the ashram for some work. And at that time, the king of that place, his name was Sahasrarjuna, Kartavirya Sahasrarjuna, that was his full name. Now his soldiers, his warriors, some people were going past in the jungle and they were very hungry. And usually ashrams do, in those days, anyone who came hungry, there would always be food in the ashram. So these warriors stopped by at, say, Jamadagni's ashram, and the Amba was there, and they had a cow. They had a cow by the name Kamadhenu. I'm sure some of you have heard about Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is a divine cow who can give you whatever you ask for. Kama is desire. Whatever you ask, Dhenu is a cow. She is a wish-fulfilling cow. Now, Kamadhenu was in Sage Jamadagni's ashram at that point of time. And because these people were hungry and they had come, Renuka Devi asked Mother Kamadhenu to provide food for them. And a nice, beautiful spread of food was immediately ready. And these warriors were so surprised and they were amused. A cow, a wish-fulfilling cow. Oh my God, this rightfully belongs to our king. Why is it sitting here in the ashram? Our king needs this more than anyone else. And in their arrogance, they went and asked that this cow be handed over to them. How could they give it? It belonged to sage Jamadagni and Renuka Devi. When the people of the ashram refused, these warriors pulled the cow by force, snatched her and tried to drag her away. And at that time Parashurama came, and Parashurama with his axe, he came and just destroyed the entire set of warriors who were there, and brought back, of course, Kamadhenu to the ashram. Now this news reached Kartavirya Sahasrarjuna, and his son, in order to take revenge over Bhargava Rama or Parashurama, he came and killed sage Jamadagni. And when Parashurama had gone out at that time, when he came back, he saw his father's body lying there in blood, and he saw that there were 21 marks on his body. And when he saw that, he took an oath and said, I am going to kill every single Kshatriya who is doing adharmic things. People who are doing wrong things. I am going to kill all the Kshatriyas. Not once, not twice, but 21 times on this earth. And the earth shuddered at this. And true to his word, he actually killed all the adharmic kings of the land. And to avenge his father's death, he killed all the sons of Kartavirya Sahasrarjuna. And this was the purpose why Bhagwan had come on earth, because Bhagwan's promise is Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanihi Bhavati. Glani, when dharma falls. Abhyuthanam Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Why? He had to uphold dharma and destroy adharma. This is what was the purpose of every single avatara of Paramatma. This was a slightly extreme avatara where he came and he actually killed a whole lot of people. Why? Because at that point of time that was required. If that was not done, the whole land would be full of adharmic kings, and all the good would have continued to suffer again and again, again and again. And Bhagwan cannot tolerate his devotees, he cannot tolerate the good people suffering. It's only up to a point. After that, he himself will step in and ensure that dharma is restored in the land. And this is why Bhagwan came as Rama in the clan of the Bhrigus, who had made the axe as his weapon, and hence he came to be known as Bhargava Rama and Parashurama. Now this is the story of Parashurama. It is said that Bhagavan Parashurama continues to live even today. He is a Chiranjeevi. He is going to be there until the end of all the 4 yugas. And now we are in Kali Yuga. So till the end of Kali Yuga, Bhagavan Parashurama is there. And also interesting facts about him is that in Dwapara Yuga, when Bhagavan comes as Krishna, you know the story where there is that Mahabharata war and all that, right? You know the Mahabharata, the characters there. And you all know Bhishma Pitamaha. So it is Bhagavan Parashurama who was the guru of Bhishma and also the guru of Dronacharya. Who was Dronacharya? The guru of the Kauravas and Pandavas. So it is Parashurama who taught all the war skills to both Bhishma Pitamaha and Dronacharya. And there was one more student of his, Karna. Unfortunately, Karna's story was a little different, but still he also taught Karna the war skills. And it is said that in Kali Yuga, when Kalki, Bhagwan is supposed to manifest as Kalki, it is Lord Parashurama who is going to train Kalki in the war skills. And let us wait and see. We are all in Kali Yuga. We don't know when Bhagwan will manifest as Kalki. Anyway, so this was the story of Bhagwan's appearance as a Brahma Kshatriya, because he was a combination of the skills of a Brahmana and the skills of a Kshatriya. While a Kshatriya learns war skills, the Brahmana learns the why and how of everything, the knowledge behind everything, and especially how to keep up dharma. That is why all the Brahmanas were advisories for the kings. And here was a manifestation of Paramatma who had both the knowledge of dharma and how to uphold dharma, as well as the strength and skills of a warrior, of a kshatriya. And this is a special manifestation of Lord Vishnu as Parashurama or Bhargavarama. In the stotram that we chant, it is said Kshitipati Vamsha Sambhavamurte. He was born as a Kshitipati. Kshitipati refers to Kshatriya. So he was born as a Kshatriya. Why? Kshitipati Raksha Kshatamurte. The world had to be saved from the bad Kshatriyas, and of course the land needed good Kshatriyas. You cannot destroy all the Kshatriyas. So the Kshatriya clan was also actually safeguarded, was actually protected by this avatara of Bhagavan. And Bhrugupati Rama Varenya Namo. Varenya, the worshipful one. Bhrugupati Rama, that Rama who was born in the clan of Bhrigu. That is, he was the Abhargava. And this is how Bhagwan's manifestation as Parashurama happened. We will end this session as usual with the chanting of Dashavatara Stotram. नामस्मरणादन्योपायं नहि पश्यामो भवतरणे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे तव नाम वदामि सदा नृहरे वेदोद्धार विचारमते सोमकदानव संहरणे मीनाकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां मन्थानाचलधारण हेतो देवासुर परिपालन भोः कूर्माकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय मां भूचोरकहर पुण्यदमूर्ते क्रोढोद्धृत भूतेश हरे क्रोढाकार शरीर नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम् हेमकशिपुतनुधारण हेतो प्रह्लादासुरपालन भोः नरसिंहाच्युत रूप नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम् बलिमदभञ्जन विततमते पादाद्वयकृतलोककृते पटुवटुवेशमनोज्ञ नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम् क्षितिपतिवंशसम्भवमूर्ते क्षितिपतिवंशसम्भवमूर्ते क्षितिपतिरक्षाक्षतमूर्ते क्षितिपतिरक्षाक्षतमूर्ते भृगुपति रामवरेण्य नमो भृगुपति रामवरेण्य नमो हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम् हरिभक्तं ते परिपालय माम्. So until we meet for the next avatara, Hari Om.